9 in 10 HDB households who sold part of their lease back to HDB received between $100,000 and $300,000. Giving an update on the lease buyback scheme, the Housing Board says that as of June, some 12,600 households have taken it up. It was introduced in 2009 to allow seniors to unlock the value of their flats while still living in them. Claudia Lim with more.
Mr. Ramli Dawood has been living in this flat for over 20 years. Now 67, he's already planning for his later years. To supplement his retirement income, he considered downgrading his flat. But after checking out the flats nearby, he's opted to sell the tail-end lease of his flat back to HDB instead.
I have to move in the house. The house now not so cheap. 300 over 1,000 at Pioneer MRT. My God, I cannot afford. So I stopped this one. I go HDB. And then now I can stay here. I can rent people the room.
He chose to retain a lease of 30 years and sold the remaining 47 years to HDB. Mr. Ramli received $216,000 in proceeds. A good portion was used to top up his CPF retirement account, while the rest was given to him in cash, enough to supplement his daily expenses. Like Mr. Ramli, some other seniors have chosen to stay in their homes while monetizing the remaining lease. Over the past 5 years, HDB says the take-up rate has remained steady at around 1,700 households per year. 9 in 10 have received between $100,000 and $300,000.
Depending on the type of houses, locations, and also the market condition as well. And the balance leases also vary depending on the duration the owner choose to retain. If you look at the typical example about 60 years leases, I think then we're talking about this valuation around maybe 200 to about 600,000 range for 60-year kind of leases. I think that should be a reasonable kind of valuation given the current market condition.
Under the scheme, flat owners can choose to retain 15 to 35 years of their flat's lease. The lease must be able to cover the youngest owner until 95 years old. Just over half who took up the scheme live in 3-room or smaller flats, and about 65% chose to retain a 30 to 35-year lease on their flats.
If we look at the smaller housing unit type, I think this household probably relatively more financial constrained compared to 4-room or 5-room flat.
On top of being on the scheme, elderly households can also choose to rent out a spare bedroom to further boost their retirement incomes. Prof. Fu says he's expecting more households to join the lease buyback scheme over the next few years as Singapore's elderly population grows.